Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of MJLive. I am your host, Micah-Jamal. Go ahead and do me a favor. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you guys can stay up to date with everything that we have going on. Tonight, we have a jam-packed show. I have a couple of things that I want to talk to you guys about, and we are going to dive right in there and talk about some of the things that's going on in the world. So, if you're on our YouTube channel, thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel. There should be a subscription button right down below so you can stay up to date with everything that we have going on. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you guys will do me a favor, after the show, go over to our YouTube, search I am Micah-Jamal, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Tonight we have a few things to talk about, and let's bring this up here, guys. And I also want to tell you, if Monday nights, starting this upcoming Monday, we will have a special called What is Love? So basically what I'm doing, I look sad and this camera angle. Sorry. But basically what we're doing, we're going to be talking to 3 different couples for the remainder of the month, every Monday night, starting at 9 p.m. We'll speak with them about what works for them, what did not work for them. We're going to have us a worldwide view. So we have a straight couple that's going to come on. We have a interracial couple that's going to come on. And then we have a same-sex loving gay couple that's going to come on as well. So we can get the entire viewpoint. We know here at MJLive, we are for everybody. I don't care what you do. That is your business. Just don't be rude and disrespectful, because then I'm going to have to come for you and it's not going to be nice. So you guys can check that out every Monday, starting this upcoming Monday at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. I'm not for sure. I think it's at 9 p.m. Hi, Nikki. How are you doing? So that is that there. If you guys are on social media, you can go ahead and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Everything is right there for you can see. It is at I am Micah-Jamal. If you guys would like to go ahead and donate, you can donate via Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Zelle, I am Micah-Jamal at gmail.com. Venmo and also Cash App at I am Micah-Jamal. And then PayPal at IamMicah-Jamal.com. Very simple that you can never forget. Wherever you go, just look for I am Micah-Jamal, because I am he, Micah-Jamal. So tonight, a few things we're going to talk about. I'm going to give you guys an update about Whoopi and what's going on with Miss Whoopi. And these are the topics you will be able to see on your screen. We're going to talk about the crack pipe that Joe Biden, the Republican are saying that Joe Biden wants to give away for Black people and for racial inequality. We're going to discuss that. What is the facts behind that case? We're also going to talk about this young man at the top of the top right around here. We got to talk about him. He's a murderer, a killer, an arsonist. It needs to be jailed for life. Then we're going to talk about this guy here. This is a representative from North Carolina. They are trying to sue him, according to the Constitution, in order to make sure that he do not run in the next election, okay? This guy here is next. This is Joe Rogan. We're going to talk about Joe Rogan and his N-words that he wants to use, and also about the misinformation that is surrounding COVID. And then on the other side here, we are going to talk about all the way over at the bottom, we're going to talk about Amir Lockheed. What's going on with Mr. Amir, and what is the secret, and what is the lies, and what is the truth about this case. So that is what we're going to talk about today, guys. We're going to go ahead and start after this quick little intro. And I did say we're going to talk about Miss Whoopi as well. So we will be back in just 1 second. So go ahead and like and share so all your people will know that we are on. And then we will come back and have the conversation. Let's go. Okay, guys, we are back. So let's go ahead and dive into this conversation. So the first people or the first person we're going to talk about is this guy here. His name, well, Whoopi. So what's going on with Whoopi now? So Whoopi threatened to leave The View if they did not lift her suspension. She was put on a 2-week suspension that is supposed to expire next week, because this has already been a week. Move fast. No word yet if she's going to actually leave The View, but what The View did, The View went and The View is bringing back some of the OGs to come and talk on the channel, on the show for the remainder of the month. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this happened, how Joy going to feel about having her whole old members back, and how this dynamic is going to work. I'm not going to be watching. I will watch a couple of clips just so I can be, I would know what I'm talking about when I talk to you guys. But I didn't watch The View before Whoopi got banned. I'm not going to watch The View after Whoopi is banned and suspended, because I really don't care for their politics. I think the worst thing that ever happened, they ran Meghan McCain off. Why? Because it brought another viewpoint to the conversation, so therefore others will watch it. Nobody wants to watch something that is one-sided, and I think that is the issue with a lot of shows. They are so one-sided that you throw away or you push away the people that don't view the same, well, don't think like you. So I think that's a terrible idea, but hey, who am I? So if you guys are going to be watching, good for you. If you're not, then you're not going to be alone, because right now their viewership is not the best. So it's not like people are watching anyway, but that's neither here or there. So moving right along to our next topic of tonight. This is the Joe Rogan. So let's discuss. I will tell you guys what all of this chaos is about, and then we will go from there. All right. So basically, what you have, the mob came after Joe. Joe is a comedian. If you don't know him, he used to host the X Factor, where the people had to fly in cars and get dumped into the water, have to break out and try to swim, or eat crickets, or eat something live, or have the snakes crawl on them. The X Factor. Everyone loved that show. I love that show. It's no good TV like that out anymore. But that is who Joe Rogan is. So Joe Rogan they were trying to ban him because of the COVID misinformation. You guys know where I stand on this. I don't think anybody needs to be banned, no matter if their information in the eyes of the CDC is correct or not. Why? Because I was banned from YouTube. My channel got put down. We had 96,000 hours of content that was viewed. We had over 3,000 subscribers, and now I'm working from the ground up trying to get it back. All of this because they said that what I was saying was misinformation. Fast forward 7 months later, actually it was last year. So you were looking about 14 months later, everything that we were saying on the show and the people that I had on my show, what we were saying now the CDC is making as gospel. We told you guys that the cloth mask was not working, that it's impossible for a shirt to keep you from COVID or any airborne disease. They said that that was misinformation. Now the CDC come out and say that that is factual, that the only mask that's actually going to protect you is the medical mask that they wear, and that's not even 100% effective. That's not even 50% effective. It's not that effective. We also said that lockdown doesn't work. I brought in, I think it was New Zealand, lockdown for 100 days. Once they opened back up, COVID ran through the country yet again. So lockdown doesn't work either. They said there was misinformation, but what do John Hopkins come out to say? That the lockdowns were not effective. We said that 6 feet was not far enough for you to be social distance to not get this airborne disease. Okay? They said there was misinformation. What did John Hopkins come out and say? 6 feet doesn't make a difference. So again, I don't think that people should be banned based off of the information they are giving. It is up to the American people or the people of the world to hear the conversation, and you decide if it's true or not. You decide, well, oh yeah, that doesn't make sense. What are you talking about that I need to inject bleach into my body? What are you talking about that I need to sit out in the sun because the sun is going to cure me from COVID? What are you talking about? So it's different things like that. Let the American people decide. It is your job, if you think that it's misinformation, it's your job as the government to give the American people correct information. And the reason why misinformation allegedly was able to spread throughout the country is because you guys wasn't saying much. No one knew what was going on. So if you don't know, you're just going to listen to the voices that's out there, whether they're right or wrong. Trying to get my gallon finished. So, what came out was this, guys. The people who originally tried to cancel Joe was a Democrat super PAC known as the Midas Brothers. So basically what they do is find leading voices in the Republican Party that's on social media and try to cancel them. Remember I told you guys last week that Whoopi is a product of a system that she supported, and that system is cancel culture. Do I think Whoopi should have been canceled or suspended? No, I don't, because she injected her opinion in the conversation. And so I feel the same way about Joe. Do I think he needs to be banned or canceled or taken down from Spotify because of the information about COVID that he put out there? No, because technically he really did not put out false information. He allowed other people to come that had a different viewpoint, and he pressed them on their points. He does kind of something like I do most of the time, and that is to give you guys the information and allow you to decide what is what. I don't have to agree with it, but this is what A said, this is what B said. When I have a guest come on, we can agree on everything, but I'm still going to play the opposite from what they're saying. Why? Because I want to have that conversation, and I want you to be able to let the people know this is why we do what we do. So, what happened was that didn't work. Spotify CEO and president came out and said, we're not going to take him down. Mainly because this man has way more viewership on Spotify than anybody else, you know, and his viewership just increased. So that's money for Spotify. They don't want to bite the hand that feed them. And another reason he said, hey, I'm just not going to be a part of this silence of the people. We're going to allow the people to make their decision when they hear what is going on, and they decide if they want to listen or not. So then they went back, said, okay, that didn't work. What they played? The race card. Because they understand that Black people are moved by racism. But what they did not think about when they tried to use this race card, that Black people don't listen to Joe anyway. When it comes to the regular Democratic inner city Blacks, neither groups, regular inner city Democrat Blacks, will listen to Joe anyway. So it's not really that big of a deal when they try to push this agenda to cancel him using the race card. They should have thought of something better. So what happened was they went and they played every time that he said the word with the ER and not an A, and thought, oh my gosh, this is going to spread like wildfire. The people who's really complaining are the Blacks that's in media. That's who's complaining. Why? Because regular blacks after X Factor don't even know what happened to this man until now. Why? Because we understand that it's something they call context. What is the context you use it in? Do I think a white man should ever use that word? Hell no. But they did not cancel Joe Biden when Joe Biden was reading and used the same language. Both of the Joes are using the N-words. So if we're going to cancel one, we need to cancel the other. Both of them was replaying or re-saying something that was already said. It's not that they was calling people the N-word. Apples and apples. So we're going to cancel Joe Rogan. We have to cancel Joe Biden. And I don't think we should cancel Joe Biden. And y'all know I don't like the man. I disagree with him politically. But it is not up to us to cancel everyone that we disagree with. So I think this was a waste of time. I don't think that he is not going to and what I want you guys to what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to go and look at the viewership of the view when Whoopi was there, and now that Whoopi's gone, because I want to know how many people watched this past week, and then how many people are going to watch the next week because the old people are there. So I'm going to talk about that next week because I want you guys to see that people are going to be moved based off of money. So when it comes to media, so if their money is going to dry up or their viewership is going to dry up, they are not going to make sudden moves. So that's why I think it's something else besides the Whoopi thing, behind Whoopi. So next topic. This guy here is a it's the representative Cawthorn out of North Carolina. Let me get you guys up to date what's going on. Then I'm going to play a few clips and then we're going to talk about it. So basically, you had about a dozen people wanted to sue Mr. Cawthorn, Representative Cawthorn, I think that's how you say this name, in order for him not to be able to be up for re-election because his role in the insurrection that happened on the 6th of January. So basically they're saying that he or his speech provoked people to riot the Capitol. And they're using the article in the Constitution, Amendment 14, Section 3. I'm going to read that to you guys. And that says, no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any states, who having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial office of any state to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may by vote of 2/3 of each house remove such disability. Basically what that said, if you are elected into public office and you put your hand on the Bible and swear to defend the Constitution, the American Constitution against enemies, both foreign and domestic, and then you turn around and aid in an insurrection, aid in a rebellion, aid in a revoke, aid or comfort people who are doing these things, then you are no longer allowed to serve in an elected office. So what is going on? They're saying that his speeches that he gave and the tweets that he gave should disqualify him in order to run again for re-election. So my thing is this. If we're going to do it for this young man here, then we need to do it for everybody else. So I'm going to let you guys hear a quick montage of everybody else who've done the same thing that he have done.
There aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
You got to be ready to throw a punch. You have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
I feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school. If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
We'll go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
We're going to go in there, we're going to...
This is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
Now, we understand that some of them are not representatives, some of them are not senators, some of them does not hold office when it comes to a office, state or federal, but some of them does. Especially this last lady who talked. And listen to what she said, guys. Just take
This is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
So, where are we, guys? Where are we? Why haven't we went to file a lawsuit in Michigan as well? Because I think she's from Michigan. Why haven't we went to file a lawsuit in California as well for Maxine Waters, telling people to get into their face and start trouble? Where are we when we are? What about the mayors of these cities who allow their cities to burn to the ground? That comfort, the Constitution says, shall engage in insurrection or rebellion against the same or give aid or comfort. So where are the lawsuits, guys? Let's be very clear when it comes to the January 6th stupid, chaotic bullshit that they are pushing. I think it's very hypocritical of both sides. The right is saying, oh my God, January 6th is nothing to see here, but want to condemn the left for supporting the riots that happened during the demonstration about the Black Lives Matter. But the left are saying the riots that happened during the demonstration, oh, it's nothing to see there. I know the city is burning down behind me. I know things is on fire behind me. I know people are killing people behind me, but it's nothing to see. But here we go at the Capitol. Oh my God, the world is falling apart. It's bullshit, guys. And that's what you have when you having these two sides just want to make a political statement. How the hell do you have people who walked into the Capitol, didn't break in through the doors like everyone else, but they saw it open and they walked into it and got 5 years in prison? But it's people who burned down during the BLM and got 0 years in prison. What I'm saying, you have to have equal justice under the law. The same law that is going to jail the people from the insurrection at the Capitol should be the same law to jail these idiots who burnt down cities, who's walking into Gucci's and whatever else she said and taking stuff. But it's not the same. So you guys want to come after this man, and I don't know who the hell Representative Cawthorn is, but all I know is if we're going to sue that he cannot get reelected, I got a lot of people that we need to sue on both sides to not get reelected. And the foolery of it all is that they allowed us to see their true head. Because the lawyers who's fighting to make sure he's not reelected came out and said, yes, even Donald Trump, that we are going to go to all 50 states to try to get him banned from running. So this telling me that this has shit to do about this damn Constitution, but it has everything to do about politics. And that is where America is tired of the right and the left playing politics. We don't give a damn where you stand when it comes to politics. Worry about the homeless people that's on the streets. Worry about the people that need help with mental illness. Worry about people who do not have enough food to eat. Worry about the mothers and the fathers in the American country that cannot even provide a decent living for their children because of this freaking inflation is so high, and yet still you have not raised the minimum wage or forced these companies to pay people what they're worth. This white man has nothing to do with all the chaos that's going on in the communities. This is politics. This is pure politics. And the American people see this. But yet and still, we go to the ballot box every other November, and elect stupid people in office that cares nothing about the people that voted them in office, but everything about trying to see who. Oh, I almost went there. Just having a piss contest. That's all they're doing. So I think this is foolishness. I think if we're going to go there and sue that he does not get reelected, that we have to do it on both sides. Moving on. And let's move on because I'm about to curse more about it because I think that is just stupid. All right. So, Black Lives Matter. Let's talk about this. My issue with Black Lives Matter has been my issue from day one. And until they fix it, it's still going to be my issue. My issue is not all Black Lives Matter. My issue is Black Lives Matter. The Black Lives Matter when they push the agenda that this organization has. I will tell you that I do not support the organization of Black Lives Matter, but I fully support the movement to get Black lives to matter in this country. But the Black lives is not going to matter when our education system is still failing us. When Black people are sentenced disproportionately to white people. When it's harder for Blacks to get decent transportation in order to get a decent paying job. Just here in Atlanta, you just saw that Modern took $2 billion, I think it's $2 billion or $2 million, where they're supposed to give good quality transportation to a poor neighborhood and spending the money on something else. So this is the thing that we need to push when you're talking about Black lives. I understand you guys want to talk about the abuse of the police, but let's talk about what's going on before we even get to the age where you have to deal with the police. Let's talk about how the country took trades out of schools. Therefore, when you graduate high school, unless you are in a county that have a trade, that you graduated with a piece of paper and not a skill set that will keep you out of the streets, that will keep you out of the gangs. So we're talking about Black lives, people. Let's talk about it. Let's have the conversation, but not just a conversation to push a movement. Anyway, so this man here, this man's name is MJLive. So MJLive was a part of the demonstration a Black Lives Matter demonstration, that he turned it into a riot. Because you have to understand that there was demonstration with the BLM movement, and then there were riots. There are two different things. You had people that were demonstrating peacefully and marching peacefully and protesting peacefully, and then you had these people that was there just to stir shit up and burn shit down. Okay? So he was the one there to burn shit down. So he burnt down a Maskless pawn shop on East Lake in Minneapolis, May 28, 2020. Then on July 20, 2020, the authorities discovered that it was a dead body in said place, which was a black man. So this young man, Mr. Lee, went to court, got convicted, or pled guilty, one of the two, and then got 10 years in prison. So is that just? It goes back to the information or the conversation we had last week when Donald J. Trump came out and said that if I'm reelected, I'm going to make sure the people on January 6th are treated fairly. And everybody was in uproar about that. Like, what do you mean, Mr. President? Well, he said some, not all of them. But what do you mean? And now we understand. Now we see. Because you're telling me that you can burn a company to the ground and burn someone alive and only get 10 years? So Senator Tom Cawthorn, he wrote to Amir and was like, hey, I need the answer. I want to know, why are we giving him this sentence? Because his minimum sentence was 20 years. But the federal government came to his defense and said, we want a lower sentence. I'm not going to read everything Cawthorn wrote because I have about 10 minutes before the show is in because I'm trying to keep it under 45 minutes. But you guys can go look at that. So my question is, which of the Black lives is going to matter? Will it be the one who was murdered and burnt to death, or will it be the murderer? Are we going to go out and protest until this guy get justice? Because you're going to get 10 years for killing someone, from burning them alive. Doesn't make sense. Which Black Lives Matter movement to Mr. Amir Lackey. Let's talk about this. Our next and final story tonight, or topic tonight, is going to be about Mr. Amir Lackey. Then we're going to talk about the crack pipe from the Bidens, and then we'll be done. So, what I want to do, I want to play this clip of the body cam footage of the shooting of this young man, and then we'll talk about it. So take a second, it's about a minute clip, and let's watch it.
Please stand for it! Please stand for it! Please stand for it! Hands! Get on the ground! Get on the fucking ground!
So that's the body cam. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to slow it down so you guys can see it again, and then we can have a conversation. One more time, guys. Let's watch that one more time. So a couple of things about this, guys. Just a few things. So first, you see that we have this guy. Of course, he was shot and he was killed. So the officers. So basically, what happened? They was looking for his cousin. His cousin name I could when I was looking through, I could not find it. I'm pretty sure it's out in the public by now, but I could not find it. Why? Because his cousin is only 17. He's a minor. He's a juvenile. So this juvenile shot and killed, allegedly, a man by the name of Otis Elder over a drug transaction. We don't know if Otis was buying drugs. We don't know if these juvenile was buying drugs. We don't know if they were selling together, if one of them was a supplier. We don't know. And the sad thing about this is if they charge him as a juvenile, a lot of things about this case we won't know. So we just have to wait and see. So what happened was they found him because of police cameras footage. They was able to follow him from the scene of the crime all the way back to this apartment. This apartment, they secured 3 different warrants. One for an apartment on the 7th floor, which was the cousin's girlfriend house apartment, and that's where Mr. Amar Locke, I'm gonna call him Locke, okay? Mr. Locke was fatally shot. Which raises questions now, what is a grown-ass woman doing sleeping with a 17-year-old? But that's another story for another day. They also secured a warrant for the 14th floor where Mr. Locke's mom lived. Excuse me, Mr. Locke's cousin mom lived. And they also secured a warrant for another apartment on the 14th floor where the alleged accomplice lived. So these are the 3 warrants that they received, and they got they asked for it and they got approved. So here you go. They're about to open the door, and now you have him. So a lot of questions made raised. Oh my gosh, he was an unarmed black man. Oh my gosh, he was innocent. Oh my gosh, he was killed in his sleep. Guys, what is that? That is a gun. That is a gun. Now, my issue was, and this is where I think we need to have a conversation, but we cannot because people are either so far left that they only hear defund the police, or they're so far right that they only hear that the police are great and criminals are bad. They're not in the middle. But he had a gun, so what should the cop have done? Many would say they should have used less lethal force. But to do that, they would have had to put their weapon in a holster, get a taser out of a holster, aim and shoot. Within those couple of seconds, he could have fired. He did not raise the gun at the officer, so would the officer feel threatened? People who said that they need caseworkers to go on some of these calls, look what happened in New York. It was an domestic violence call. If the caseworker would have went, they would have been shot and killed to death. So what I'm trying to say is I don't think it's a wrong or right answer. I don't think it's an all or nothing answer. I think the answer is more complex. And until the left-wing radicals stop yelling, defund the police, they are racist and terrible and bad, and the right-wing radicals stop saying that all police are good, none of them are bad, and the criminals are bad, they are animals, then we will never get to a middle point. We will never get to a middle point to say what is good, what is wrong, what is right, what is wrong. I have more questions than this. My conversation will go back before the shooting. Why is this young man in his cousin's, who's a kid, girlfriend house, who's a grown woman? Why is this young man sleeping with a gun? You see, when we start asking questions like this, we understand that Black people who are getting shot down by cops or by other Black people, their journey to that moment started a long time ago that we don't want to talk about. We're not having the conversation about school choice, where parents can allow their kids to go to a school where they can get a trade once they graduate in order to lower the chance of them getting into gangs and getting into violence and getting into the criminal life. Am I saying that if you are a gang member or if you live in violence or if you are in the criminal life that you deserve to be shot and killed? I'm not saying that, but your chances are greater. So we need to talk about why. We need to talk about the law that Bill Clinton passed that takes 3 strikes and you are out. We need to talk about why the executive orders and the bills that the President Bush passed that silenced the Black church from speaking out against racial inequality and racial injustice because they are afraid that if I talk out, I'm going to lose my 5103 or C 5103C, whatever it is, your non-for-profit status, 5103C. These are conversations that we're not having, but we are upset about the effect, and we're never dealing with the cause. Because you can defund the police, but you're still going to have Black people dying at the hands of cops and at the hands of each other until we start talking about how we're going to reshape and reimagine the inner city. How we're going to reinvest into the inner city. Because when the industrial plants was in this inner city, Black men and Black women had jobs. They didn't have time to go and fight and sell crack and sell weed and do drugs and do all these other chaotic things that we do because we have no time to do anything else. They was working. But a system that got afraid of the minority population rising up began to take jobs out of the cities, put drugs. And listen, this is not a conspiracy, guys. This is facts. And that's the issue. Once we can deal with facts, we can determine where to move forward from here. Put drugs into the inner city, tore up the fabric of the family, took the parents the father is out, because now the father has to decide, I'm going to let my family starve or go out and sell dope. They're buying dope from the same cops that's going to arrest them. This is not a conspiracy. These are facts. I know what I'm talking about. I see it all the time. But we are crying about an effect, but we're not getting to the root causes. So yeah, the white liberals are going to champion Black Lives Matter because it's going to lead you to go out, to riot, to burn shit down. They don't care because it's never going to affect their pockets. It's never going to affect their livelihoods because we're going to keep on crying about effect, but not the cause that's causing the effect. Low education, no jobs, no transportation, poor health care, poor food choices, all this stuff that aids the destruction of the inner city. But they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. Moving on to the last story. And we're a few minutes over. So I'm going to try to rush through this and then we'll be done. So this is going on. So a lot of people are coming out and they're outraged because allegedly the Biden administration are giving money to send out crack pipes to people. Now, let's be very clear. The people who try to tell you guys that's false are lying. Now, the context is more substantive than, I think that's the correct word, than what the media or the right-wing media is pushing out. It is more than just crack pipe. But yes, the government, the federal government, has given a grant to people to send out crack pipes, which is stupid because the same thing that they locked black people up for selling, now they are sending it out. So my question is this a tactic to get more blacks arrested and jailed, Joe Biden? The animals, as you call them? Because if you've given them the crack pipe, they're going to need crack to put in it. We are giving them syringes. They're going to need heroin to put in it. We've given them the tools to use for their drug abuse, so they're going to need drugs to put in it. So now are we going to decriminalize drugs? Which I think that needs to be a conversation. But I'm rushing through because we don't have time. So let me read this and do my little commentary while I read it. All right? Bam. Really quick. Here we go. Claim. In early 2022, the Biden administration endeavored to advance racial equity by distributing crack pipes to drug users. They rate that mostly false. Not completely false, but mostly false because there's truth in it. What's true? In 2022, a U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Substance Abuse Harm Reduction grant did require recipients to provide safer smoking kits to existing drug users. In this grant, they should prioritize applicants serving historically underdeserved communities. Okay? What's false? The purpose of the program was to reduce harm and the risk of injection among drug users, not to advance racial equality, although that was a secondary consideration. So, basically, they said people are lying when they said that the Biden administration endeavored to advance racial equity by distributing crack pipes to drug users. So they are going to give the crack pipe to drug users. You can find that on the memo that they released, which says, grant funds must be used primarily to support the following required harm reduction activities. Number 8 on the list, purchase equipment and supplies to enhance harm reduction efforts such as harm reduction vending machines, infectious disease testing kits, medication lock boxes, FDA approved overdose reversal medication. Safe sex kits included PrEP, resources, and condoms. 6, safe smoking kits supplies, which is your crack pipe. Sharps disposable medication disposable kits. Substance test kits including testing strips for fentanyl and other synthetic drugs. Syringes to prevent and control the spread of infection diseases. So we're giving them syringes and we're giving them crack pipes so they can smoke. Now, for my weed smokers, can we give them some free bombs? Since we are giving away all these things to the people who want to go and smoke. So, what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. So what I'm talking about, Lamar, because you just tuned in, Biden administration, they are giving away free crack pipes to people that are smoking. So my thing is this: I don't give a damn if y'all want to say that it's about racial equality or not. That part doesn't matter to me. But what I do want to focus on, guys, if we are going to give these people the tools that they need to overdose, how do we explain that to someone? And I'm torn because I do believe that we need people out there to help people that's on drugs and that's going to overdose. I do believe that, guys, with my whole heart. I'm an advocate for safe spaces where people can go and do drugs with medical personnel around, just in case they overdose. Because they're going to do it anyway. So if it's about saving lives, that's a hard conversation to have. That is definitely a hard conversation to have, because is it the federal government responsibility to supply you with the tools you need to do the illegal drugs? Whose responsibility is it? Because if I give you the tools that you need to get to do the illegal drugs, you got to go get the illegal drugs. Just don't make sense. Just don't make sense. So, the white man looked like House. That was not House. That was Joe Biden's son, high, allegedly on crack cocaine. So anyway, guys, I am 10 minutes over. Thank you so much for watching. Now, tomorrow, if you guys are not doing anything at 9 p.m., we will have another episode of All for One. So if you guys want to join us back here, we will definitely be having some great conversation. Remember, Monday, we will have the premiere of What is Love. It's a 3-part series. We're going to talk to different people in different stages of a relationship, see what works, see what will not work, in honor of February. If you guys will go, not get invited. If you guys will go ahead and subscribe to the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. If it's a story that you guys hear out there that you want to discuss, just let me know, and we definitely will discuss that. I will let you guys know about the last week of the month because it is my birthday coming up next week, and I will be on vacation. But I think I'm going to still go live from Miami, and I'm going to see if I can get somebody to come on with me. But we'll discuss that, and I will let you guys know. But besides that, I think everything is good. I love you guys. Remember, no one can do what you are called to do. No one can accomplish the gifts, the call, or the purpose on your life but you. So don't live your life based off of what they're saying. Don't live your life based off what they feel. Live your life based off what you know that you need to do and to help everyone else.